Hello and welcome to Olipod. In this lesson, we'll be discussing the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019 that led to the bifurcation of the state. Following the decision to abrogate Articles 370 and 35A on August 5 of 2019, Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated from October 31 of 2019 into two union territories, that is Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. The constitution of Jammu and Kashmir and the Ranbir Penal Code ceased to exist from then on. Jammu and Kashmir is now administered as a union territory under the Article 239A, same as that of Puducherry, by the President through an administrator appointed by him known as the Lieutenant Governor. The Union Territory of Ladakh will be administered by the President through a Lieutenant Governor appointed by him. The first Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir is Girish Chandra Murmu, while the second Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir is Manoj Sinha. The first Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh is Radha Krishna Mathur. Now let us look at the districts following the bifurcation. After the bifurcation, the districts of Ladakh are Kargil and Leh, while Jammu and Kashmir has been divided into 20 districts, which are Anantnag, Bandipur, Baramulla, Budgam, Doda, Ganderbal, Jammu, Kathua, Kistar, Kulgam, Kupwara, Pooch, Pulwama, Rajouri, Ramban, Riyasi, Samba, Sopian, Srinagar and Udhampur. Before digging deeper into the changes made in the legislature of Jammu and Kashmir, let us first check the differences between a union territory and a state. In terms of administration, a union territory is administered by the central government. It has a head administrator or lieutenant governor appointed by the president, while a state has an elected government and the chief minister heads the state. The executive head in a union territory is the president, while the same for a state is the governor. It is not mandatory to have a legislative assembly in a union territory, while a state has mandatorily its own legislative assembly. The power vested in the heads of the center in a union territory, while a state has a federal mode when it comes to the distribution of powers. Now let us look into the Articles 370 and 35A before Jammu and Kashmir was a union territory. Article 370 in Part 21 of the Indian Constitution grants an autonomous status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The article is drafted in the Constitution and contains temporary, transitional and special provisions. Article 370 restricts Indian Parliament to make any laws for the state, and it deals with defense, external affairs and communication. Under Article 370, the Indian Parliament cannot increase or reduce the borders of the state. In Article 35A, it allows the state legislature to define the Jammu and Kashmir's permanent residents. The article had been inserted via the Constitution Order 1954. The article is also known as the Permanent Residence Law. Among other things, it deprives the state's female residents of property rights if or when they marry an outsider. The provision also extends to children born of any such women. After Kashmir's special status is gone, people from anywhere in India are to be able to buy property and permanently settle in the state. Now let us look at the changes in Jammu and Kashmir that happened after the bifurcation. The first change is in the legislature. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir will have 4 MPs, that is members of parliament, in the Rajya Sabha and 5 MPs in the Lok Sabha. It will have a legislative assembly in accordance with Article 239A of the Constitution, which means it will be along the lines of Puducherry rather than Delhi. The assembly will have a total of 107 seats, 4 less than the number of seats in the old state assembly. 24 of these will remain vacant as they relate to territories in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Of the 83 seats that are on offer, there will be for the first time reservations for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, part of a broader scheme of extending national reservations to the region. Terms will be 5 years rather than the 6-year terms in the old system. The Assembly will have the ability to frame laws on issues in the state and concurrent list, though this is restricted as there is no power over public order, police and much of trade and commerce. To avoid conflicts like what we have seen between Delhi and the centre, the Act carves out significant discretion for the LG on All India Services and the Anti-Corruption Bureau and gives them the power to withhold assent from bills and reserve them for consideration by the President. Like other state legislatures, the term of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir would be for 5 years. The Legislative Council would be abolished. The number of seats to be filled through direct elections would be 107, and the total number of seats would be increased to 140. Now, what are the changes that is made to the Council of Ministers? The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir will have a Council of Ministers of not more than 10% of the total number of members in the Assembly. The Council will aid and advise the Lieutenant Governor on matters that the Assembly has powers to make laws. The Chief Minister will communicate all decisions of the Council to the Lieutenant Governor. What are the changes made to the High Court? The High Court of Jammu and Kashmir will be the common High Court for the Union Territories of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. Further, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir will have an Advocate General to provide legal advice to the government of the Union Territory. Now let us look at the extent of laws. The schedule lists 106 central laws that will be made applicable to Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh on a date notified by the central government. These include the Aadhaar Act 2016, the Indian Penal Code 1860, and the Right to Education Act 2009. Further, it repeals 153 state laws of Jammu and Kashmir. In addition, 166 state laws will remain in force and 7 laws will be applicable with amendments. These amendments include lifting of prohibitions on lease of land to persons who are not permanent residents of Jammu and Kashmir. Now let us look at the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill 2019. It was introduced to end the special status of Jammu and Kashmir and to establish the rights of all citizens to buy property and right to vote in the state. It introduced 2 bills and resolutions each regarding Jammu and Kashmir. They are the Constitution Order 2019, issued by the President of India to supersede the 1954 order related to Article 370. Resolution for repeal of Article 370 of the Constitution of India, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill 2019, and Jammu and Kashmir Reservations, that is Second Amendment Bill 2019. Now let us look at some of the facts of the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill 2019. The bill was introduced in Rajya Sabha on August 5, 2019 by the Minister of Home Affairs Amit Shah. The bill was passed on the same day in Rajya Sabha, and in Lok Sabha it was passed on August 9, 2019. This act came into force on October 31, 2019. The act reorganized the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The act reorganized the state of Jammu and Kashmir into the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir with a legislature and the Union Territory of Ladakh without a legislature. Now let us look into the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019. The first part is the preliminary part, and it has 2 sections which include the short title and definitions. Part 2 is the reorganization of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and it has sections 3 to section 7. Briefly, it deals with the formation of Union Territory of Ladakh without legislature and formation of Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir with legislature. It also deals with the amendment of the first schedule to the Constitution. Part 3 is the representation in the legislatures. It is again divided into segments. The first is the Council of States, which has 2 sections. The next one is the House of the People and has 3 sections. Then we have the Lieutenant Governor and the Legislative Assembly of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, which has 40 sections. Then the next segment is the Council of Ministers for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, which has 4 sections. The final segment is the Legislative Council, which has 1 section. Part 4 is the Administration of the Union Territory of Ladakh Preliminary. It has only 1 section and deals with the appointment of Lieutenant Governor of Union Territory of Ladakh. Part 5 is the delimitation of constituencies. It has sections 59 to 64. It deals with the definitions, the power of Election Commission to maintain delimitation orders up to date, as well as the special provision to readjustment of parliamentary and assembly constituencies. Part 6 deals with scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. It has sections 65 and 66 and deals with the applicability of scheduled caste order and scheduled tribes order. Part 7 is miscellaneous and transitional provisions. It has sections 67 to 74. It deals with consolidated funds, accounts, expenditures of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Part 8 is the High Court. It has sections 75 to 78. It deals with the High Court of Jammu and Kashmir to be the common High Court. It also deals with practice and procedure in the High Court of Jammu and Kashmir. The next part, that is Part 9, is the Advocate General of Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. It has only one section which deals with the Advocate General for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Part 10 is the Authorization of Expenditure and Distribution of Revenues. It has sections 80 to 83 and deals with the authorization of expenditures of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Part 11 is the apportionment of assets and liabilities. It deals with the section 84, which is the application of this part. Part 12 is the provisions as to certain corporations and any other matters. It has sections 85 to 87 and deals with the special provision as to income tax. Part 13 is the provisions as to services. It has sections 88 to 93 and deals with the provisions relating to All India services, public sector undertakings, state public service commissions, etc. Part 14 is the last part and is the legal and miscellaneous provisions. It has sections 94 to 103. It deals with the power to adopt laws, to construe laws, to name authorities, etc. for exercising statutory functions. It also deals with the legal proceedings, transfer of pending proceedings, etc. Now let us look at the schedules of Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019. This act contains 5 schedules. The first schedule consists of the members of Council of State. The name of the sitting members are Fayaz Mir Muhammad, Lavesh Shri Nazir Ahmed, Manhas Shri Samsher Singh, and Ghulam Nabi Azad. The second schedule contains the parliamentary constituencies of Jammu and Kashmir, which are Baramulla, Srinagar, Anantnag, Udhampur, that consists of Udhampur, Doda, and Katwa districts, and the last one is Jammu, which consists of Jammu, Rajouri, and Poonch districts. It also has the parliamentary constituency of Ladakh, which is Ladakh itself. The third schedule is the assembly constituencies of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. There are a total of 83 constituencies. The fourth schedule deals with the forms of oath and affirmations, while the fifth and the last schedule deals with the central laws made applicable to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. So this was all in this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and it will help in your preparations. For more such amazing content, keep watching Olipod.